What's going on, everyone? My name is Shiv. Today I'll be breaking down the market. Today is August 31st. Today's Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday the 1st. So I'm going to be going over a couple of the things that I'm looking at for the market tomorrow on the 1st, and just breaking down longer term levels, mostly on hourly charts, daily charts, 4-hour charts, and talking about a little bit of what happened in the market today. So let's kick it off with going through the news. We had Zoom today. Zoom reporting earnings today. That was a pretty big headline, and I'll break that stock down a little bit later in today's video. Taking a look at this headline, coronavirus cases are on the rise again across more than half of the U.S. New cases are up at least 5% based on a 7-day average in 26 states as of Sunday, compared with just 12 states a week ago. So it seems like, daily coronavirus cases, you can see the graph here, has risen quite a bit into the end of August, mid-August. That's something that we're going to keep in mind for the next couple of days. So taking a look at SPY here. We look at SPY, we had a pre-market high of 352.62. Came into that in the morning and we started selling that off. We had a bit of a chop session in the middle of the day in the SPY, range bound action, and then we had this drop at 3 p.m. between 3 and 4 in the power hour, and then we tagged some new lows at support of 348.50 area in the post market. So tomorrow what we'll be watching for is a move outside the range, whether it's to the downside or the upside. Be looking for a move, maybe a gap down or a gap up, and then a break of the resistance and create new all-time highs, and then a break of the lows and creating a little bit of a pullback in the markets. Taking a look at the daily chart here, we can see that we've been on quite a run here. Something that I like to sort of always keep in the back of my head is not apply a bias to the overall markets. I like to just see what the technicals tell me. I like to see what the chart tells me, what the news flow, what the overall sentiment in the market is, and then determine some probabilities and some different cases of where we can go, whether here, or just consolidation. I like to sort of keep a neutral bias as much as I can, as I'm a day trader. I focus on finding the best trades in the day, whether it's long or short, and I try and leave my bias out of it and just trade what I see. So the first name that we're going to be taking a look at is Apple. Apple, of course, today is the first day of the stock split. We have trading around $130, 127 to $130. We see here in the open, looking at the hourly chart, we had this nice push up. I personally was watching this and I didn't really like the price action. You can see these wicks here, and I wasn't a big fan of the price action. It got a little better throughout the day, giving us some momentum setups, a nice little top there and a bottom, sell off there. And as the market ripped lower in that last hour, we saw some weakness in Apple here following the SPYs, right? So, as the market sold off, sort of sold off there. So, sorry about that. So, as I was saying, sell off with the market. It looks neutral to me here. I'll watch it tomorrow. I feel like they're still trying to do price discovery on this, and since the split happened, there's a lot of more liquidity in here. And yeah, so I'll be watching for a break of these levels, 131, and on the downside, 127.85. Tesla, arguably the star of the show in today's market session. You have Tesla at the high of, in the regular market session, I believe the high was $514. 514 cents. And then in the post market, you can see here that it's tagged the high of 518. So it's made a pretty monster move in the post market along with today's session. So, taking a look on this on the daily chart, that's the gap up today, 56-point day, 13% move up, and this is where it is in the post market. Honestly, no idea where this one can go. No idea where, I have no opinion whether it sells off tomorrow, whether it consolidates tomorrow, whether it gaps even higher than where it is right now. I'm going to take it as I see it in the morning. This is one where, it can have a really large overnight swing. And, I just want to watch for the key levels. So the key levels for me is 505, then 500, 518, like 520 on the upside. So let's see where that comes into the morning. As of right now, these are the levels that I have. This was the top of the gap move right there, 470, then 505, and then 520. The next one we have on the list is AMD. For those of you that are in the Discord group, you saw on the week ahead presentation that I put out that I'm watching AMD and semis as a whole for a strong move upwards. Today we got that monster move in AMD, as I believe there was some catalyst behind this. It was a chip making event. There's a chip makers event. So let's look up the news. Yep. AMD adds to long run as Ryzen wins PC notice. Chipmakers rise ahead of Catalyst. So you could take a look at this article here from Seeking Alpha and see exactly why AMD gapped up today. Nvda also gapped up today, and INTC. So let's, while we're doing semis, I'm going to flip over to Nvda. Nvda also quiet on the open, held up pretty nice. I like how it bounced support, 520, pretty nice. And then it had a monster move up. As of right now, though, it looks like, something that I'm going to be watching for tomorrow is this stock has been trading all-time highs, right? Pops up, consolidation, pops up, consolidation, pops up, consolidation. Tomorrow, I think that AMD might be the stronger name out of the Nvidia, the INTC, the MU, the AMD. Like, I think that this might be the stronger semi, just because it's had a little bit of a breathing period, right? So you had this pull in, you had the all-time high here, previous all-time high, pulls in some small momentum, pulls back. Stock has a chance to breathe and redo the price discovery, and then it just gaps up today. A big 6% gap today. So I'll be watching AMD for some continued upside or downside tomorrow. The levels I have set up here are $90.30 at the mid, $87.22 at the bottom, and $92.50 on the top. Okay. So we did Apple, Tesla, and Nvidia. The next one I'm going to be watching is Zoom. So let's go back to this article. Okay, so Zoom reported its earnings after the bell today. You can see Zoom raised its fiscal year guidance, easily exceeding estimates of analysts. Earnings 92 cents per share adjusted versus 45 cents per share as expected by analysts. Revenue 663 million versus 500.5 million. Revenue grew 355% on an annualized basis. Income neared 186 million. So, and I believe guidance was raised. That's an important. Yep, they're raising guidance right there in the headline. That's something really important that the street looks for. Taking a look at the stock, let's see the way that it trades. So some of the data that I use on FinViz, the institutional ownership of 60%, short float of 6%, ATR of 14, and a relative volume. Of course, that's going to be really hard. Really elevated now. You can see that the stock made a monster move today. I believe this is one of the biggest gappers in its market range, cap and everything, all things considered. This is one of the biggest gappers for the day. The stock's up almost 45% from today. Today the low of today was about $300, and now the stock's all the way up at 410. I usually don't trade Zoom. I found that the price action is a little choppy, unfavorable for day traders. However, when it has a catalyst like this and earnings, especially a good beat on earnings, I have found that the price action is pretty good. So I'll be watching this for a trade opportunity tomorrow based on these pre-market levels. So I'll be setting up my supports and resistance in the pre-market for this one, evaluating it, seeing how I can make a trade out of that. So that's that. BA real quick is just my range idea, my range trade idea. So another thing that I should note here while we're going through most of the watch list, I'm not watching all of these all day. I set alerts on most of them, and I pick only 1 to 3 to focus on for the day. Lately, I've been focusing on less stocks. I've been trying to hone in on just those 2 stocks that I want to watch for the day, 2 to 3 max, and then I just take my trade ideas from there and execute. This allows me to sort of pick the one good trade, the best trade that I can make possibly on the day. So in BA, we have this tight consolidation between 177 and 172. I'm watching for a break of the consolidation. This is sort of my B plus idea, in the event where none of my other stocks are moving to my favor, or for whatever reason there's chop in the market and I see this high beta name responding well, I will turn to this for the range trade and see if there's a trading opportunity within that. CLDR is a sympathy name to Zoom. I believe this can be a mover in the next couple of days. You can see that there's a pattern here. I forget what it was called, but there's a pattern there. I believe it's called ascending scallop. That's what it's called. This is an ascending scallop pattern on a 4-hour chart. Let's look at the daily here. Yep, it looks pretty nice here. 1350 and 14 at the highs, all-time highs there. The next one we have is Netflix. So full disclosure, I'm long Netflix. I've been long Netflix since last week. I think that this can make another leg up, perhaps if it clears the 534, 537 area and then holds into 550. Maybe we see a move back to all-time highs, or we just see another extension up into the 558, 560 areas. I'm taking this one more as it pans out. I'm just watching the hourly on the daily, on the day. I have Netflix open and I'm watching the hourly chart, managing my swing position. As of right now, my stop loss is under 521. If it breaks LOD of today's session, I'm probably just going to close it out and look for re-entry at another time. The last one I have here is Beyond Meat. Last week announced the addition of its e-commerce platform in its business. You can see here, I personally traded this one in the morning and it was really choppy. I bought these bottoms here. I bought the 135 zone. Beyond is a stock that I've traded a lot, and I know how to trade these prices, but today was really, really tough to trade it because the liquidity was kind of garbage, and overall you just had to be really quick, and the options were not the greatest on today's trading session. So this is more of an alert name. It got an upgrade this morning, which is the reason why I was watching it. So let's see how that pans out. But you can see here, there's some pretty choppy price action, and it's more of an alert name, above 142.50. I'm going to set the alert for above 142.50. And if it gets there, then I will take a look at it for a trading opportunity. And the last ETF to mention here is SMH. So if I'm trading AMD or Nvda, I'm going to be watching SMH alongside those. Why? Because SMH is the semiconductor ETF that tracks the basket of semiconductors and portrays their price movement within this. So you can see here we have a doji here. No clear direction of buyers or sellers in this candle. You have 176.65 at the top, and then at the bottom of this candle you have 173. The prices aren't too important to me. However, I am watching for strength. So I'm looking at this on a 1-minute chart as I'm trading the Nvda, INTC, AMD, MU, whatever the semiconductors names are. I'm watching for strength. You can see there was a lot of strength here around 12 o'clock in the semis, in the SMH index. And you can see here around 12 o'clock, you see Nvda take off. Same thing with AMD right there, 12 o'clock area. So I'll be watching that alongside my trade. The last thing we can probably end with is, make sure that there's no economic data coming out tomorrow, and if there is, what do we have to watch for? Tomorrow's Tuesday the 1st. You have ISM manufacturing index, IHS market PMI, construction spending, and motor vehicle sales. So that's some things to watch out for tomorrow in terms of economic data. Wednesday is ADP report, employment, and then Thursday are those jobless claims that everyone is watching for. So that's all I have for today's market breakdown. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to share, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.